Hello, Steve White, TrekBoy89 for SteveAts89. I'm kind of shocked by what they're doing for Star Trek Day this year. Now, I had heard a rumour that they were going to do a convention that was going to be all new Trek, and it was going to be all just actors and everyone from the new shows, and they weren't going to have any of the original Star Trek or any of the original Star Treks at all in it. And I sort of thought, well, we'll see how that goes. I didn't really think too much about it. I thought maybe it was a rumour. I thought people were just making it up, just haters saying stuff, because that would just rile people up and that. And then I saw the preview for Star Trek Day, and it's about 2 minutes, 50 seconds, and it's pretty much all Discovery and Picard. There's little moments here and there where you sort of see quotes and that from the original Star Trek and Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Enterprise and Voyager, but they're really just token little shots here and there. For the most part, it's just new Trek just for 2 minutes. And I sort of thought, well, okay, fine, whatever. They want to focus on the new shows because that's what they're spending money on. That's what they're selling. It's still going to be about Star Trek. It's the 55th anniversary of Star Trek, so of course they're going to focus on Star Trek and all the other shows and that, because it's not just the original Star Trek that was produced in the older shows, and it's not just a new show. It's Star Trek as a whole. It's Star Trek's Day. It's Star Trek Day. And then I actually heard that Star Trek Day was actually not going to include Star Trek. Believe it or not, how they're doing the day, what it is they're having 6 panels which are going to be filmed live but recorded and released online on Paramount Plus and I think just Paramount Plus to start off with, and then it's going to go to YouTube. Yep, they are doing 6 panels, and 5 of them are on the individual Star Trek shows in production now: Prodigy, Discovery, Strange New Worlds, Lower Decks, Picard. And the 6th one is a token Roddenberry Legacy panel where they're having Rod Roddenberry just interviewing random people, which is 3, Gates McFadden and LeVar Burton from Next Generation, and George Takei from the original Star Trek. And that's it. That's all you get for Star Trek. I can't believe it's the 55th anniversary of Star Trek. It's the anniversary of the original Star Trek that they're celebrating. The date it premiered, the original show, and then the shows that followed after it always get celebrated. They all get celebrated as one big family of TV shows. They're not doing that this year. Now, they are also having what they're calling legacy moments. So they're having 5 little segments or something, or interviews or clips or something, where they're going to have Cyril Lofton and Anthony Montgomery and Garrett Wang and Josh Takei and LeVar Burton talking about little Star Trek moments. But the rest of it is all just focusing on the new shows, new Trek. I'm just really shocked. I'm really offended. It's Star Trek's birthday. You don't throw a birthday party for someone and then slap them in the face and say, sit in the back. We're going to have the other people, the gate crashers, they're going to come, and the party's for them, not you. You go in the corner and shh, be quiet. That's basically what they're doing to Star Trek. I'm like, are you serious? That's what they're doing. They're doing this one token panel with Rod Roddenberry. Now, Rod's got a pretty bad reputation at the moment because he basically was paid to consult on Discovery and that, and he gave it his blessing, basically. And obviously a lot of Star Trek purists and Gene Roddenberry fans don't like the original Star Trek. They don't think it respects the original Star Trek or follows it or anything. Whether you like it or not as a science fiction show, they don't think it honours and continues Gene's legacy, or the show, or the canon, or the universe, or anything. So the fact that he sort of signed off on it, it sort of undermines his integrity. And a lot of people are saying, well, he only became interested in Star Trek. He didn't want anything to do with it when he was younger and he was offered to direct and produce and be part of the show. It was only when he realised he could make money out of merchandising that he got involved, is how some people are characterising his involvement with Star Trek. I haven't looked into him enough to know that. He's always seemed fine to me. He always seemed to be respectful to his dad and that. But and I'm sure he'll do a nice panel, but the fact that all Star Trek gets for its 50 years, the 55 years, 50 years before Discovery, the whole 55 years of its because even though the shows haven't been on for a while, they've still been celebrated and had merchandise and events happening. So Star Trek still lives. So we're celebrating 55 years of Star Trek living. and 55 years pretty much of Star Trek before New Trek, before it sort of was trying to be replaced. And they're acting like this because a while ago, Dream Coconut was saying, oh, what they want to do is they want to basically, they've got this new license, they've got this new show, the new studios and everything. What they want to do is they want to basically take all the fans over to that, and then they make all their money out of that, and they don't have to worry about, paying anyone who produced any of the old Star Trek and having to deal with any of the old Star Trek. They can just create their own new Star Trek and just supersede the old Star Trek. And I sort of thought they're never going to do that because the other shows are too valuable. Even if they can make new shows that in theory could be just as valuable and just as important while they're on, and then be just as important to be syndicated and streamed afterwards, they're never going to throw away what they've already got that's so valuable. But that's what they're trying to do, and I'm just really shocked. I really, really am shocked. I can't believe that they're doing this. They're doing this from the Skirball Cultural Centre, which in LA, which is where they're going to have an exhibition of Star Trek in October, which is called Exploring New Worlds. And they've got Jeff Russo there, who's a Star Trek composer. I think he does the music for Discovery, and he's going to have a live orchestra who's going to be playing music all day. And they're recording the panels live, but there won't be fans. There won't be. It's not like a convention. And then they're just going to drop them all on the 8th between 5:30 and 8:30, depending on what part of America you're in. And then later on, it'll be on YouTube and I think some other streaming services and stuff. So, but I'm just really shocked. I'm really shocked that they're doing this. It's just such a slap in the face to Star Trek as a whole, to all the other actors, all the other people who worked on the other shows, to say, well, your shows don't matter anymore. Your legacy doesn't matter anymore. We're just going to focus on our shows that we're producing, that we like, that we're making, that we're spending money on. We don't care about all the time and money and effort and love that went into your shows, and the fact that people still love them and celebrate them and watch them and want to buy merchandise from them and keep them alive for them. I'm just really shocked. I don't know. I didn't think they'd do something like this because it just seems so counterproductive, because people like me who will come for Star Trek Day for the original Star Trek could get sucked into some of their show and things that they're producing. You can get those two. You can, if you start producing new Star Trek that actually respects the old Star Trek and people enjoy it as much, they're going to jump on. And you've got to keep the two crowds intermingled and try and get some crossover if you actually want the show to live. But separating it from Star Trek and just sort of pushing Star Trek away like it's worthless and just focusing on their show like they can stand alone, which I really don't believe they can't, and I see no proof that they can so far. I mean, Star Trek was a cultural phenomenon. Everyone knew what Star Trek was. Everyone knew who Kirk and Spock and Janeway and even Archer and Picard and Data. Everyone knows who those people are, but no one knows who Michael Burnham is. No other than no normies know them, other than a few sort of just general science fiction fans who just watch Netflix. No one really knows about the show. It hasn't had that cultural impact and that phenomenal just life, and just the sheer effing hubris of taking Star Trek out of its own birthday and out of its own celebration. It's just unbelievable. I just can't believe they actually did this. Like I said, I thought this was a rumor. I thought it was a gossip. I thought Doom Cognate were just making stuff up about just trying to get fans riled up by saying they're going to have a convention that was only for new Trek fans and not including original Star Trek fans, and that, and not having those guests or panels from them or anything. I sort of thought, not going to happen. They're just making that up just to rile people up. It's a slow news day. They just make up something, but it's true. It's not at a convention because they really wouldn't make any money if they did that. For the convention wouldn't do it because they know that the new actors don't draw as big a crowds as the older actors. And I've seen photos and videos of that. I'm not saying they don't get people to come, but they don't draw the same sort of audiences as the older ones did. But yeah, I saw this and I was really shocked. And I'm not speechless, but I'm just flabbergasted that they would do this. They would actually do this on Star Trek's birthday. If you want to have your own Star Trek Day and just focus on your new shows and let the old shows just sort of take care of themselves and continue to celebrate the the anniversaries and everything like they have been doing, because that's the thing. Paramount abandoned Star Trek a bunch of times. There's times they've celebrated it when they've had a movie in production or a TV show in production, but there's great times where they just ignored it. But Star Trek just survived, the fans kept it alive. But no, they had to actually steal Star Trek's birthday, steal Star Trek's day, because they couldn't sort of generate enough energy for their own, so they're trying to piggyback and they're just trying to steal Star Trek's thunder. And it's just, it's tacky. I just can't talk about it anymore. I can't believe that they're doing that. It's just so... I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this. I'm just shocked. I just don't understand how these people think. Yeah, I'm going to go. Thanks. Bye.